Good day, Professor Villanueva. I am John Camilo Lim from BT NFT 2B, group number 2, and together with my group mates, we will be discussing about 4 topics, which is the bitters, the science of bitters mixology, the alcoholic drinks, and the beer. So without further ado, let's proceed now to the bitters. Now, to start off, let's first define what is bitter and some overview about bitters. So bitters is known or classified as a class of liquor-based flavoring agents or liquid ingredients that is used for everything and for stomach aches, because in ancient time many brands of bitters were originally developed and marketed for medicinal purposes. And of course, bitters are primarily used in cocktails, recipe, and alcoholic drinks because they are common in bar mixer that typically adds flavors and balance the taste of different cocktail drinks. So bitters are an aromatic spirit infused or created with fruit, spices, leaves, bark, roots, and pills that are classified or well known as botanical ingredients. The bitters called as bitters because of the flavor profile itself, because the bitters are made from the herbs and bark roots that is chosen for infusion that often have a sharp or strong taste, and lastly because of the tannin levels that the ingredients has. In terms of the taste of the bitters, it is very depend on the ingredients and what are the ingredients used and the manufacturer of the bitters itself, because for example in Angostura the taste of bitters there are more likely spicy, while in Peychaud's bitters the taste of the bitters are more likely sweet. And of course in this modern era there is a lot of bitters that are made from different ingredients such as chocolates, cinnamons, cherries, citrus fruits, and many more. So the bitters are typically made from botanicals that is soaked in clear alcohol or typically green alcohol. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a botanical is a substance obtained from a plant that is used as an additive, especially in gin and cosmetics. So if you are wondering why it is soaked in clear alcohol or green alcohol, because the reason behind that is the clear alcohol can maximize the flavor extraction and the preservation, and of course to extract the flavors that the botanical ingredients used has. So the common ingredients that are used in bitter making are the orange peel, cassia bark, cascarilla, gentian root, and cinchona bark. For the ingredients, I will not explain it further because there is a reporter assigned to explain the different ingredients in making a bitters. So bitters is considered as one of the versatile ingredients used in the food industry, and of course as a medicinal purposes or health benefits, because with the use of bitters it can add complexity to the flavors of a particular cocktail or alcoholic drink, because with the use of bitters we can balance and accentuate the flavors of a cocktail and of course complete the taste. For the second, the bitters can also add deliciousness to particular cocktails such as Manhattan, Sazerac, and the Old Fashioned. And for the third, bitters has a health benefits such as it can aid in digestion, and it has a medicinal purposes like what I've said earlier in the first slide. If you are wondering if the bitters have alcohol in it, yes, of course it has an alcohol like the Angostura bitters. It has a 35 to 45% alcohol content, but in cocktail mixing we use only a minimal amount or a small amount of bitters. That is why in market it is classified as non-alcoholic. Now, after defining the meaning of bitters, let's now move on to the history or the overview of bitters. The history or the origins of bitters can be traced back in the ancient Egyptian, who may have infused medicinal herbs in jars of wine. This practice was further developed during the Middle Age when the availability of distilled alcohol coincided with the Renaissance in pharmacognosy, which made possible more concentrated herbal bitters and tonic preparations. Many of those brands and styles of digestive bitters today reflect herbal stomach and tonic preparations whose roots are claimed to be traceable back to Renaissance era and pharmacopoeia traditions. By the 19th century, the British practice adding herbal bitters to cannery wine had become immensely popular in the former American colonies. By 1806, American publication referenced the popularity of a new preparation term, a cocktail, which was described a combination of stimulating liquor composed of spirit of any kinds, sugar, water, and of course the bitters. To continue of the commercial aromatic bitters that would emerge from this period, perhaps the best known is Angostura bitters. In spite of its name, the preparation contains the medicinal bark from the Angostura tree. Instead, it is named after the town of Angostura in Venezuela. In 1824, the German physician Johann Gottlieb Benjamin Siegert compounded a cure for seasickness and stomach maladies among other medicinal uses. He subsequently formed the House of Angostura to sell the bitters to sailors. Another renowned aromatic bitters in 19th century roots is Peychaud's bitters, which was originally developed by the apothecary Antoine Amédée Peychaud in New Orleans, Louisiana, and is mostly commonly associated with the Sazerac cocktail. One of the popular style of bitters that emerged from the period is orange bitters, the flavor of which ranges from dryly aromatic to fruity and which is the most commonly made from the rinds of Seville orange and spices. Orange bitters are commonly called for in older cocktail recipe. An early recipe for such bitters is in the English and Australian cookery book, Make Your Own Bitters. Pioneering mixologist Cherry Thomas was largely responsible for an increase in the popularity of bitters in the United States when he released How to Mix Drinks or the Bon Vivant's Companion in 1862. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is the two classification of bitters, namely the digestive bitters and the cocktail bitters. Digestive bitters. So this classification of bitters is well known as digestive bitters that are drunk straight or on the rack and served after a meal has finished, because the main purpose of this is to help digest your meal, and this is also popular in Europe, Canada, and America. Another type of or variety of digestive is known as aperitifs, which come before a meal but serve the same purpose of helping digestion. So the examples of digestive bitters are Amaro, Campari, and Jägermeister. So the next classification is the cocktail bitters. So this classification of bitters are used as an ingredients in cocktails and commonly mixed with drinks because it has a very strong bitter and concentrated flavor. This bitters is commonly known in North America and commonly mixed with the cocktails such as Manhattan and Sazerac. For the next topic, let's move on now to the types and categories of bitters. For the first type, we have aromatic bitters, the largest and the most well-known category. This is blend in a range of botanicals including herbs, root, and bark, as well as warm spice. Aromatic bitters are considered the standard not only because they've been around the longest, but also because they are versatile. It is full of old-fashioned baking spice goodness like cinnamon, clove, and ginger. Aromatic bitters work well with whiskey, rum cocktails, but can be also used in champagne cocktails. They are the key ingredients in many classic cocktails like the Manhattan and Old Fashioned. The next most popular style is orange bitters, which primarily get their flavor from the dried zest of bitter orange. Rich orange bitters get their complexity from spice and the dried peels of bitter. Orange bitters have been popular as far back as 1800s. Depending on the brand, the flavor of orange bitters can range from dry and aromatic to sweet and fruity. Seville bitters oranges are the most commonly used to make triple sec and curacao. Traditionally, orange bitters feature a healthy dose of spice too. Common ingredients used in both in the 19th century and today include gentian root, cinnamon, cloves, cardamom, ginger, caraway, and coriander. Beyond citrus, berries, stone fruits, drupes, and other seed-bearing produce lend themselves well to bitters. Fruit bitters tend to bring the table some perceptible taste, sweetness, and ring of seasonality. Try cranberry bitters in the winter, cherry plum, apricot and peach bitters in summer, and pear, fig, or apple cider bitters in the fall. Herbal and floral bitters highlight ingredients such as chamomile, hibiscus, dandelion, jasmine, lavender, and thyme. The flavor profile depends vastly on the formula. These bitters tend to be perfect pick for gin and tequila-based beverages. Cocoa and cocoa-infused chocolate bitters are practically blossom bodies with aged spirits. The rich vanilla and coffee notes often present in chocolate bitters perfectly complement the flavors of oak barrels impart on rye, bourbon, añejo tequila, and dark rum. This style is delightful addition to coffee cocktails, but you can also use it in white Russian or old-fashioned as an alternative for Angostura bitters. While most bitter contains different intensities of variety of spices, some bitters allow a single spice to predominate. Cardamom bitters and ginger bitters are both examples. Other spice-forward bitters playfully evoke popular culinary spice blends such as Mexican mole, barbecue, Thai, and Jamaican jerk seasoning. Spice bitters add a certain warmth and earthiness to cocktails that blends especially well with rum and bourbon. So spicy bitter is a type of bitters that are best for giving a margarita, paloma, or a Bloody Mary an instant kick because it is a type of bitter wherein it is infused with habanero, jalapeno, and other types of chili peppers. Celery bitters is a celery-flavored bitters that the style can be vegetal, earthy, bright, or citrusy, but they are all rely in the backbone of celery seed. Perfectly added in gin or tequila and in savory cocktails like Bloody Marys and martinis. Aside from orange bitters, you can find bitters formulas focused on lime, lemon, and grapefruit. Citrus bitters complement a wide range of spirits such as lemon bitters are almost as versatile as orange, can pair well with whiskey and vodka. Grapefruit bitters are a great option to pair especially well with tequila drinks, and another great citrus option that would pair well with tequila, vodka, or gin would be Scrapis lime. So that's all for my report. Again, if you have any questions or clarifications, you can see the reference below and in my handouts. And if you have questions, you can message me in my social media accounts and here in MS Team. Again, thank you for listening. God bless and mabuhay. Keep safe.